So hello everyone, welcome back to the Force Galaxy. Hope you all are doing good. And yes, I am very late in uploading this video, but I make sure that from now I will be regularly uploading the videos. So today we will discuss about the future method in asynchronous epic. So what are future method and in which conditions or in which scenarios we should go with future method. So we will discuss everything in today's video. So without wasting much more time, let's start. So I will start with its definition. What are future methods? So future method is a asynchronous method which runs in the background and runs the processes in the separate thread when the system resources are available. So we use @future annotation to declare the future method, and the benefit of the future method that it avoid the user from blocking or to performing the different task and providing it the higher governor and the execution limit in the process. So now before coming to the code, so there are some points which we should keep in mind before writing a future method. So now let's see these points. So here is our very first point, that is the method with the future annotation must be of static type and can only return a void type. So the method will be of static type and then only return a void type, no integer, boolean and etc. So now the second point is the specified parameter must be primitive data type, array of primitive data type or collection of primitive data type. Primitive data type like boolean, integer, date and time, string and etc. Now the third point is method with the future annotation cannot take as objects or objects as argument. Now the here question arises why we cannot pass parameters of as object or object in the future method. So the reason is the as object might change between the time we call the method and the time it executes. So in this time period the values might change. So in this case the future method will get old as object values and might override them. So but still if we want to pass the as object values, then what we can do, we can serialize our data as object data and pass it as a parameter, because now the data is converted to a string. So now in our future method we can again deserialize it and get the list of records or a single record. So here the fourth point is that is future method cannot be used in Visualforce controller in get method name or set method name, and nor in the constructor. So these are some simple points which we should keep in mind while working with the future methods. So now let's come to the scenario and see how we can write the future method. So our today's scenario is how the future method is helpful in avoiding the mixed DML error. So yeah, first let's discuss what is mixed DML error. So mixed DML error occur when the DML is performed on the setup and the non-setup object in a single piece of code or in a single function. That is, you cannot perform insert or update commands on a setup and a non-setup objects in a single piece of code. So now let's move to our screen and see how we can avoid the mixed DML using the future methods. So now before coming to the code, let me tell you what are the setup and the non-setup objects. So the setup objects are the objects which are used to interact with the metadata, or can say the builder area of the platform. So these are the objects like record type, user profile, email template, layout and so on. And then other objects are called non-setup object, like the standard object, account, contact and are all other custom objects. These are come under the non-setup objects. So now here I have created a class with mixed DML and in a function. Now what we will going to do in this, one DML will be performed on a setup object and the one DML will be performed on a non-setup object, and then I will going to run this code and see what will happen. So here as you can see, one DML is performed on the non-setup object, that is the account, and one DML is performed on the setup object, that is the user. And to create a user we need a profile. So I have queried out the one of the profile and insert the user. So now let's execute this code and see what happens. As my method is of static type, so we can directly call it with the class name. So now let's execute this and see here we get a system.dml exception, that is the mixed.dml error. So now to avoid this, what we will do, we will use future method here so that we can perform second DML in another thread. So let's see how we will use future method here. Now as you can see, I have created another method, and before declaring this method I have added the annotation @future. Now this method will be known as future method, and in this method DML is performed on the setup object. So and calling this method in the above one. So now let's run this. So as you can see, without any exception, my code, my class is executed. Now both the setup and the non-setup object, that is the account record, is also created, and the user record is also created. So this is one of the example in which we can use the future method to avoid the exception. So till now here we have seen that the @future annotation is used to declare the future method. Now we will see the example how we can make a call out using the future method. So in this I have taken a piece of code of making the call out to some URL, and now let's see how we can make this call out using the future method. So now here as you can see in the annotation I have added callout equals to true. So whenever we make any callout using the future method, then we have to add this parameter, that is the callout equals to true. By default it is false. So here I have taken a piece of code. This is I have taken from the Trailhead and directly copy paste it, and so we will going to make a get request to this URL using this future method. And now let me run this, and you can see we will get the response from this URL. So here as you can see we have got the response from this URL. Now this is the simple class. This can be run without making this future call out, but when we are calling or making any call out from the trigger, then we need to execute or we need to call our method asynchronously. As we all know that the trigger runs synchronously, so if we make any call out, then the call out might take some time to complete, and which can cause performance issues. So what we can do, we can make our call out method run asynchronously, that is making the method as a future method, and if we are making call out, then we can add the call out equals to true. Now let's see some points to remember regarding the future methods. This is about the future method, how we can use the future method in the Salesforce, and in the upcoming video we will discuss about the scheduler class in the asynchronous effect. So stay tuned. See you soon in the next video. Thank you.